What's up, ladies and gentlemen? The African Fight Fam. Welcome to an instant reaction for UFC 293. Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland. Um, it is exactly 6 a.m. in the morning. Stayed up to see this fight. And yeah, I'm Jabril from the African Fighters. As you can see, I've been up. Sorry if I ramble too much. So we're just gonna have a quick dive into what just happened. But before I do, let me show you a face. The face of disappointment. Toby Aderebi, ladies and gentlemen. Toby,
Ah,
what's up, my brother? What's up, my brother?
nothing is off. I'm pissed off right now. Good.
Yeah, we just saw um, one of the biggest upsets in a title fight when it comes to live odds, basically. It's crazy. It's crazy the amount of well, let's say Sean Strickland was a minus 600 going into this fight. Well, you could already tell from how I'm
675.
sounding that I'm very sad about this. Yes, we, the African fighters, we've got our own bias about African fighters, but even without bias, this was very shocking. But without any further ado, I want to give the roses, give the flowers to Sean MFR Strickland because I don't want to say the F word. Um, but Toby, let's talk about your reaction first about how shocked you are. How shocked are you that this
I am
actually
I
went
am beyond
happened and it
shocked.
went down this way?
I am beyond shocked. I'm struggling to piece together words to describe what I just watched right now because it's not just that he lost, it's the way in which he lost. Like he was dominated start to finish. I don't think I've ever seen an Israel Adesanya fight be this one-sided in my entire life. Like even against his bogeyman Alex Pereira, like this guy just stood in front of Easy and asked him like, "What the hell are you going to do about it?" Like he was literally running up and down for five. God, what did I just watch? I don't understand what the game plan was. Obviously, he knew his Strickland was a pressure fighter. Like that's the only way he knows how to fight. Like ah, just
Yes,
go on.
yes. We will talk about what transpired in that fight and why it looked like the way it did. But well, for those who have, I'm pretty sure if you're watching this now, you just watched the fight as well. Uh, Probably most of the people now online or the fight fans are watching the press conference. So we didn't see the press conference. We just hopped on here quickly to do this. So, how the fight started with like a pretty um predictable way that everybody saw this fight starting, right? We saw a calm, easy, the way he's always been calm. We saw him doing all the feints and Sean Strickland biting all the feints in the first round. And then a couple of seconds to go in the first round, wham!
Slapped. Big right hand. He literally
Like
stole the first round.
flush.
He stole the first round.
Flush, beautiful right hand. Scored a knockdown. Tried to finish the fight, but he couldn't because Easy was saved by the bell. And I think from there, Easy did not fully recover through the whole fight. That's the only excuse I can give Easy at this point, because because if Easy is afraid of that right hand again, well, first of all, we never saw Easy throwing those jabs. Guys,
He,
I'm all over the place.
I'm
Tell
not.
me what you thought about the
I'm
first
not
round.
sure if you listened, but I think it was the middle of the end of round three. He literally said to his coach, "I can't find the jab." Like he's standing right in front of him.
Mhm.
Obviously, this was a boxing match to Strickland, shoulders high, Mayweather type thing. Obviously, you're not going to be able to land because it's just going to roll over the shoulder.
Well,
But
I would say it's the jab, right hand, and the front kick. That's what he was doing the whole fight. Literally
yeah, and
basics.
even the front kick wasn't. He wasn't really kicking. It was more like a push kick, just to like get in
Mhm.
range. But Easy did not have any answer to anything. The round he won, the second round, I was like, okay, let's build from there. And then round three went back to being extremely flat. Like I felt at the point in the fight, he just had to stamp his foot down and say, "I'm not moving again. Like we're going to stand and fight like men." And he definitely has a chance to win the fight like that. I don't know why he didn't do it all through the fight. I mean,
Yes, wait. Going into this fight, I asked you last week. I said, if for a reason Sean Strickland won this fight, how do you see this happening? Is this how you saw it happening? Because what
definitely
was your
not.
answer? What was your answer at that
I thought it
time?
would be a
You were
wrestling
saying,
match.
"Oh yeah, we did not see a single clinch in this fight."
Yeah, even Strickland's corner was yelling at him to wrestle after round two, the only round that Easy won, and it was like, nah, fuck it, I'm having too much fun standing right in front of this guy and watching him run. Like, I'm sure Strickland would have been surprised at a point. Like, towards the end of the fight, he was literally yelling at Easy, stand and fight. Like, it was crazy. I've never seen this before in my life.
Yes, yes. All right. So let's talk about Sean Strickland first, because I'm quite like s- I want us to finish giving Sean Strickland his roses, right? We talk about how good he did, what his performance is going forward, with about all of that before we move to easy. But what do you think that Strickland did that made this fight what it turned out to be? What did you think that he did?
Uh, I have to give a lot of credit to Strickland for doing what a lot of other fighters that have fought easy have failed to do, and that's just stand right in front of him and be willing, to take a punch to land a punch. That's the mentality that Strickland came in with. It was like, I'm going to fight my way. I'm not going to let you impose your style on me because obviously I can't fight that way. If he stands out of range and allows Easy pick him apart, that would be the easiest fight of Easy's career. But he was so close to the point where it was too close to be kicked properly. So it was basically a boxing type fight where it's either we fight in the pocket or you keep running away, but you have to do something. I
Yeah, I
mean,
see. I
Easy.
think I agree with a lot of that. With the fact that he was up so close that Easy couldn't even keep the distance. Like the range wasn't there anymore. He was all up in Easy's face. And I still, my head going through that fight, my head kept circling back to the fact that that first knockdown had an impact. It set the pace for the rest of the fight. A lot of people will argue that in the second round, Easy came out and won the second round after that knockdown. But in Izzy's head, he still felt like there is threat of that right, that those punches coming through the middle and coming looping punches to his head. He kept on thinking about that. Hence why he couldn't throw even a jab. All the leg kicks were checked. Anytime attempts to throw a jab, there is no space for him to throw the jab. The guard and the defense of Strickland was very tight. I saw a couple of times Izzy tried to switch strategy by like going to the body, like he went down a bit so easy, so Strickland can kind of like drop his hand, but that wasn't really effective at all. It kind of felt like you saw how Manel Cap and Dos Santos fought, right? Dos Santos was doing a lot of activity, but he wasn't hurting Manel Cap. But when Manel Cap lands or counters, you see the power there. So I kind of feel like there was a difference in the sting of their punches between Easy and Strickland. Look at Easy's face. Easy looked like he just came out from World War II, right? He was like battered. But John Strickland in the beginning of the fifth round, the end of the fifth round, was looking like a fine boy that he is. So again,
Well,
let's make excuses for Easy. What did you think went wrong?
I think the game plan was wrong. I think, okay, when Easy fights, round one, he usually goes through this feeling out process, testing what works and what doesn't work. And usually he finds his rhythm somewhere in round two where he kind of knows what to go to, what feints are working. I think in round one, Strickland fell for a lot of the feints, but it's like a dog, all bark, no bite. At the point you're like, he's really not going to do anything. So why bite on anything? So I feel like Easy's game plan is corner, whatever they've been working on coming into the fight was just not what they expected. And I think when you fight somebody like Strickland, you have to let him respect your power. Easy landed some right hands, 1-2 combinations where he actually caught Sean Strickland. But unlike the Pereira fight, Strickland did not respect that power. He was like, if that's what's coming my way, I feel like I can trade with this. Pereira's own was like when he hit Strickland, you felt it like, oh my god, this is a lot to deal with. I feel like Easy's game plan was off from, you know, from the start of the fight. Like I don't think, but I believe on the last podcast I mentioned a cardio thing, and you guys threw it
Mhm.
to the side. You said Easy has perfect
So,
cardio.
well,
In
speaking
that
about
last
cardio,
round, who did you think had more in the tank?
in that last round, you could see that Easy had already given the fight away because Easy was circling around, aggressively circling around. He refused to engage because, first of all, he has taken all the damage. I feel like he was very close to a TKO. I would rather, as a champion, lose by unanimous decision than actually lose by a finish. I think maybe that's what he was looking at. But, like, you could tell there was something going on. He was hurt. Um, I I'm not sure. I'm just going for excuses reasons, right? I stayed up. I stayed on the live stream after the fight and listened to the post fight like reaction from the commentary team. And as fight fans, or if you are involved with fights, you would understand that there's this thing called fighter meeting. So the commentary team always have a meeting with the fighters before the event, and these fighters they talk about the adversities they went through during fight camp. They talk about everything that happens during fight camp and stuff. I feel like Easy did not come to this fight 100%. That's nothing shocking because most fighters do that. They don't come into the fight 100%. I think some couple of things happened in fight camp because DC mentioned that about the things that Easy went through building up to the fight. So I was like, oh, it's not public news. We don't know what Easy went through. So I'm just speculating. There might be something that happened in fight camp. Easy not respecting who Pereira is and who Strickland is was like, okay, I think just like maybe my last fight or whatever, I can like, oh, he'll probably be like, well, I defeated uh Pereira with torn MCL, I probably would beat Sean Strickland with whatever I'm facing right now. Do you think maybe there was more to what we just saw on the screen? Because at this point,
Again,
it's
again.
just like Usman Leon Edwards. Oh, they've got your number. Do you think it's something like that?
No, no. I honestly feel like Easy can beat Strickland if he comes with the right game plan. Again, I don't think it's something physically wrong with Easy coming into the fight. I feel like I watched every single interview that Easy did leading up to this fight. He kept saying, I'm going to pick him apart. I'm going to stand. I don't want a dirty fight. I'm going to pick him apart. You can't pick somebody apart who doesn't want to be picked apart. He's standing right in front of you. It has to be a dirty fight. It has to be exchanges. It has to be back and forth. It has to be each one to get one, each one to land one. That's the type of fight that Strickland was going to make it. He came into the fight trying to make it a dirty fight, knowing fully well that, okay, obviously you won't stand right in front of a grappler like that. It's not possible. You're too close. He will just literally lift you up and drop you. But there's no grappling threat coming from Easy. So he's literally just standing right in front of him. Like, we are both going to throw, and whoever lands harder or faster is going to knock somebody else out.
Yeah. I think the fight progressing to the third round. In the third round, exactly. I think that's when Sean Strickland's confidence went up. Maybe it's something that his corner said to him because, like in the first round, before that knockdown, Strickland literally did not throw anything. The second round, when Easy won that second round, Strickland literally did not throw anything. He started throwing stuff in the third round when he started seeing that, oh, my jab is actually slipping through and Easy is reacting to every jab and every straight right I threw. So yeah, so let's talk about after this fight. There's a lot of talking points after this fight,
Wait,
right?
wait, but before you go, even though
Hmm.
in round one and round two, he didn't throw anything. What really built his confidence up was the fact that Easy wasn't really landing anything that was hurting him. It was superb defense. His defense was on point. He was too close to be kicked, and when he was too close, Easy couldn't slip a jab in, couldn't slip anything in. The one time he tried an outside hook, he got clipped bad with the big right, and I feel like that's the turning point of that fight where Strickland felt like I might have something on my
Do,
hands here.
do you
But yeah,
think that Sean Strickland now has written the book on how to beat easy? Because like I feel like this is the master class on how to beat easy. Because seeing
there's,
this
there's,
fight, I kind of felt like if Dricus du Plessis had fought easy this night, this would could have probably happened. And
but a lot of people don't understand that Strickland is one of, if not the best boxer in the UFC. He's one of the best boxers in the UFC. There's not many people that can do what he just did this night. I mean, just stand in the pocket and be confident
yo,
enough that if it's a boxing match, you win.
Dricus du Plessis has more sting at the end of his punches. Like they call him still
Yeah, but
knocks because he knocks
Dricos is
people
going to
out.
leave himself open. If Dricos stands in front of Easy like that, Easy is going to touch him up. There's no, that's a given. He doesn't have that kind
Hmm.
of defense, that type of shoulder high.
I agree. I agree. Another thing that the way people see this as well is that uh Strickland is, oh gosh, I lost a train of thought what I was going to say there. But let's talk about what's going to happen now, right? If you are Easy, are you going to take your time off, like, because Easy has constantly been fighting 3 times a year since like he joined the UFC, right? So like there's a lot of mileage with that. So now with this being like a one shot or that's it, like, right? Do you think he's going to go back immediately and try to be a 3 time champion? Or do you think he should wait it out and let's allow whatever happens between Paulo Costa and Chimaev, or whatever happens if Strickland decides to turn around and fight Dricus? Because I know that Strickland is a fighting champion or a fighting guy. Without the title, he fights regardless. He has saved the UFC's ass so many times. He has come in at short notice replacement so many times, saving a few fight nights at the main event level. Do you think that Easy should take time off and rest and allow Strickland defend the title against someone, or do you think that he should just turn around and do it?
You know what? For the first time in a long time, I'm not sure that decision is easiest decision to make right now. I'm
Mhm.
not entirely sure that the UFC gives him an automatic rematch against Strickland even if he wants it. Knowing the kind of fighter that Easy is, I'm sure he wants to get back in there and right the wrong immediately. That's the type of guy he is. That's what he loves to do. But I'm not entirely sure with the way the middleweight is shaking up right now. He's lost not back to back, but a couple of fights, within the same space of time. I feel like the UFC might just want to, make him go through, say, Dricus or the winner of, say, Chimaev Paulo Costa to get that rematch. But if he does get the opportunity to get an immediate rematch, I'm sure he's going to take it.
I think Israel still has that calling power when it comes to the UFC. Dana White likes him, right? I think he would be like public point of view, like PR point of view, he is a better champion of better face of the UFC brand than Strickland is. I think the UFC would like that as a fact and probably would accept him at his terms for a rematch. But I think he might be advised by his team not to hop on a rematch immediately. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, but if he doesn't hop on a rematch immediately, Strickland is not the type of guy that I
to wait
think can
around.
defend that title 2 times, 3 times without losing. I just don't see it happening. And so, if the
Mm.
title
So
changes hands
what you're saying
before
is
he's ready,
it doesn't feel the same for him to come back and get his get back, basically.
from somebody
So
else,
if wow, imagine Strickland now fights Dracos and loses the title to Dracos,
now
and
Izzy
Easy
has to
now
fight
comes in
Dricus
as
for the title.
Dracos as a challenger. Bro. All right. I think we will get to know more after the press fight conference after the post press conference tonight. Well, that is currently going on. We have a full deep dive into this whole fight card and mostly the African fighters on the fight card later tonight. 9 p.m. Nigerian time. So we will talk about Manel Kape, we'll talk about Blood Diamond, we'll talk about Tafa, we'll talk about Bam Bam and Volkov. We'll talk about
Told
all
you
those
Tafa
things.
was a nasty boxer, didn't I?
Well, We'll get to that later tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this was an immediate reaction. Toby, your internet connection really did hold up. I think maybe because people are on TikTok at night, maybe that's how everybody is zapping network from you in your house. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am Jibril. This is Toby Aderemi, and I am Jibril, and we are the African Fighters. And see you guys later tonight. We out.
Come on, Africans!